Good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America in Washington on Monday, April 11th, 2022. This is Live Talk. I am Samuel Dube.
And I'm Marvelous Mflanganyahuye, broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the volatile situation in South Africa, where a Zimbabwean was killed by locals last week, and another one has been beaten up and seriously injured.
Relatives of the late Elvis Dube, who was attacked and set on fire in Diesploot by a vigilante group looking for criminals, says the preparations are underway for his burial in Zimbabwe. The family is seeking assistance for his funeral.
According to one of the family members, Zororo Pumulani Funeral Services has pledged to take care of Nyati's burial amid tensions in South Africa, where locals claim that some Zimbabweans are engaged in criminal activities and have grabbed most of the jobs.
And a Zimbabwean, Emmanuel Zinja, was attacked by locals in Bradensdorp in Western Cape, South Africa, and left for dead when a public protest turned violent, with residents demanding the immediate removal of all Zimbabweans from the area. The residents were unhappy over lack of jobs.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa has written a letter to South Africans telling them to fight crime and not immigrants.
In other top news, the Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa has blamed the West for what is happening in Ukraine, saying Russian President Vladimir Putin was provoked by European nations and America.
In his weekly column in the state-controlled Sunday Mail newspaper, Mnangagwa said, quote, "A new order is emerging and Zimbabwe must respond appropriately and creatively so that it is not sidelined or placed on the receiving end of these fast-paced global changes," end quote.
And Zimbabwe is one of the 24 countries that voted against Russia's suspension from the United Nations Human Rights Council last week on Thursday, and 58 nations abstained.
Uhambe mahlabezulu linjani lapha likhona endaweni zonke zomhlaba ezijiyeneyo. Namhla ku-Live Talk sikhangela kakhulu okwenzakala kule South Africa, okubulewe khona isizalwane seZimbabwe umnumzana Elvis Nyati. Unyati-ke utshaywe ngabantu, bamgangada sibili, bamthela ipetulo, bamgaxa lamathaya ezimota, bamlayitha ephila waze wabhubha. So-ke kukhanya ukuthi-ke izihlobo zakhe zithi ulakho ukuthi umzimba wakhe kumbe ngithi isidumbu sithwalelwe kwele Zimbabwe kusikhatshana esilandelayo. Sibonile-ke izihlobo zakhe zihlangana khona ngale Hillbrow izolo, lapho kade zikhulumisana khona ngokuthi uNyathi kumele kwenziweni ngaye. Wabula khona ngale Diesploot, lapho-ke okulabantu babecabangela ukuthi laye ungomunye walabo abayenza ukuganga khona ngale. Kodwa-ke uNyathi wayezisebenzela-ke ezindlini, Marvelous, lokuthiwa i-domestic work nje, echova elemuli yakhe. Singathi-ke ikhosikazi lakhe uNomsa Juma uyakhala sibili okumangalisayo ukuthi imuli ilahlekelwe indoda ebisebenza kakhulu isebenzela imuli yayo. So-ke bayacela-ke ukuthi abantu babancedise. Sibonile njalo-ke kule inkampani okuthiwa iZororo Pumulani Funeral Services ethi-ke izathwala isidumbu sikanyathi isihambise koBulawayo. Kodwa-ke abantu sebedinga amabhasi lokunye okutshiyeneyo ukuze ukuthi beyefika khona ngale koBulawayo beyebeka omunye wabo. Sikhuluma nje futhi kulobaba okuthiwa ngu-Emmanuel Zinja otshayiweyo khona ngale eBradensdorp kwele South Africa eCape Town. Utshaye ngabantu kade betshengisela emgwaqweni besithi abasatholi imisebenzi, kodwa-ke bagcina besithi into engani luhlupho ngabantu bokuza, ikakhulu abeZimbabwe ababacabangela ukuthi bathengisa izidakamizwa njalo bathatha imisebenzi yonke. So-ke kube lokuxokozela okumangalisayo. Kodwa uMongameli Cyril Ramaphosa uthi manini kancane, ake likhangelane lokulwisana lobugebengu, lingalwisani labantu bokuza. Siyamuzwa khonapho. Kokunye nje okwenzakala eZimbabwe, uMongameli Emmerson Mnangagwa ulobe kuSunday Mail lapha ekhuluma ngokwenzakala kwele Ukraine. Uthi-ke uVladimir Putin, umkhokheli wakwele Russia, wahlokozwa ngamazwe asentshonalanga ukuze yenze khonokho akwenzayo. Uthi babemhloza sibili emehlweni bekhangela ukuthi uzayenza njani. So-ke inko-ke sehlasela kwele Ukraine. Siyakwazi ukuthi namhlanje uhlaselo okunye okumangalisayo edolobheni leKharkiv. Kuzobuya-ke lezinye indawo ezinjenge-Mariupol khona ngale ibutho lakwele Russia kukhanya selidilize izakhiwo eziningi okumangalisayo njalo labulala labantu nxa sikhuluma nje ngakhonokho futhi mavela sikhanya ngani sebebhomba futhi lama-railway station indawo zezilindo zikaloliwe. So kukhanya kulobunzima obunye obumangalisayo. So singazi ukuthi kuyaphela njani konke lokhu njengoba-ke lo mongameli Emerson Mnangagwa esithi elakhe ilizwe selibheke ukuthi libone ukuthi lingazifaka njani kukho konke lokhu kodwa lilandeli laba abangani bahlokoza uPutin. So kunjalo-ke konke khonokho esikhuluma ngakho mavela silamhlanje kuhlelo lwethu lolu olu-Livetalk. So-ke kuningi kakhulu esingathi singakhuluma ngakho njalo siyabona ukuthi laba abakwele South Africa bayazama ngamandla wonke ukuthi belungise ukuthi isidumbu sikaMoyi u-Elvis Nyathi sihanjiswe khona ngale kwele Zimbabwe. So-ke ake sizwe okunye abakukhulumileyo bona abemuli yakhona ngale yakonyathi ngodaba lolu. Napho-ke khonapho sizwe ukuthi bathini.
Ngingumzala kaMufi u-Elvis Mgodazwe Nyathi. Kusho ukuthi sizwa indaba yokuthi la esihlangane khona e-Empire Park nase-Diesploot abantu bathi yiyona i-memorial service. Cha, akukho njalo bantu bakithi. Kusho ukuthi thina singabantu basendaweni la esisuka khona nxa kuye kwavela isifo kuba ne-Sunday yokuqala after isifo siyahlangana kuwo lama-park esihlangene kuwo namhlanje. Sihlangana nje sizokhulumisana njengabomakhelwane lezihlobo nama-donations abantu ababengakwazanga ukufinyelela ema-banks ukuthi bakwazi badiphoze lokho ababephethe bekhalisa ngakho. So le mhlangano ekhona namhlanje emibili e-Empire Park edorobheni nase-Diesploot extension 8 epakini imhlangano efana laleyo esinokuyenza Sunday after isifo. Akusiyo i-memorial service. I-memorial service mhlambe namhlanje ntambama okanye kusasa ekuseni sizoyimemezela ukuthi izoba kuphi endaweni ecovered ezokwazi accommodate abantu abaningi endawo ezobe ine-space esikhulu. Angeke ngisho njengamanje ukuthi singathi sizobe sikuphi kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe by the end of the day today sizabe sesinayo impendulo yalokho.
Usisi ukukhathazekile impela kakhulu ngalokho okumehleleyo ngoba namanje nje ngathi vele uyehluleka nje ukuthi uyehluleka nokukhuluma nje uyehluleka nokukhuluma. So usizo nje sidinga usizo noma yiluphi usizo nje singaluthola from umphakathi wakithi abangasixhasa ngakho ngoba umufi ube nabantwana abawu4 abantwana bangena isikolo manje ngoba ubaba wabantwana seshonile manje asikwazi ukuthi abantwana bazoba yini ngoba nguye ubaba besebenza unkosikazi wakhe akasebenzi.
Yes, what I can say now is that the consulate came at Diesploot together with Zororo Phumlani, and Zororo Phumlani offered to cover all the costs of the funeral. So we agreed with them. Yesterday we went there at their office at Randburg. We started the first step, which means we continuing tomorrow. So they said that tomorrow they will give us, if they will be able to take the body tomorrow, then they will give us 3 days, meaning that maybe on Thursday we will be taking the body to home in Zim. So we're still asking for more assistance if people can help and even maybe companies. It looks like this thing has touched a lot of people in all the parts of the world, here in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, and other neighboring countries. People are so touched to the extent that they are willing to go to accompany the body when it's being repatriated to Zim. So if we can get maybe buses to transport people, because a lot of people are not working, maybe if we can get a bus or buses, a lot of people will be willing to go and see while their brother is being laid to rest. Their brother is being laid to rest.
So that is Mr. Mpati Sindlovu, one of the relatives of the late Elvis Nyathi, who was actually killed in South Africa. I think my co-host, Marvelous, is back right now. So Marvelous, go ahead. So I can see that you are back now. So let's continue discussing this issue concerning what is happening in South Africa. Go ahead, sir.
Tinokuchingamidza hii kunyangwe tiri kuti edu nemufaro asi muzuva ranhasi vazhinji vari kuwanikwa ivo vachichema chimwe chizvarwa cheZimbabwe vakawanikwa ivo vachiurayiwa muSouth Africa vaElvis Nyathi, apo tanga tiri kunzwa nekuona hama dzavo dzichitaura ivo pamusoro pekuti vari kutarisira kuti mutumbi wavanyati udzorerwe kumusha. Saka tanga tiri kunzwa hama dzavo apo dziri kutaura idzo kuti vari kukumbira rutsigiro kuti vawanikwe vachiendesa hama yavo kumusha, kunyange havo vati ivo vachange vari kubatsirwa nesangano kana kuti nekambani yezororo Pumulani. Saka nhasi tichange tiri kutarisa zvakare kuti pane zvakare chimwe chizvarwa cheZimbabwe vanova ivo vaEmmanuel vanga vari ivo kunzvimbo yeWestern Cape vakawanikwawo vachisangana nedambudziko rekutemwa mumusoro nedemo munzvimbo iyi. VaEmmanuel Zinja vakawanikwa ivo vachikuvara zvakaipisisa. Pari zvino vakatowanikwa vachiburitswa muchipatara mazuva apfuura vachitobviswa masitichi mumusoro, asi vari kuti ivo nemudzimai wavo anova akazvitakura ane mamanzi anoita 6 vari kufunga kuti vachidzokeravo kumusha, nekuti vari kuti ivo mabasa apera muSouth Africa mavanga vari umo, sezvo ari munhu akamboti garei muchipatara. Uyezve vari kuti ivo nemumwewo zvakare mumwe muZimbabwean akawanikwawo zvakare achitemwa zvakaipisisa mumusoro, asi ivo vaZinja vari kuti vakudawo kudzokera kumusha, nekuti kumusha kune vana vavo vamwe 3 vari ikoko vavari kufunga kuti sezvo Mwari avaitira nyasha vakakwanisa kupona murutsva apo vanga vakatarisirwa kuti vashaye, vakutodawo zvekudzokera kumusha. Tinge tichitarisa zvakare zviri kuitika izvo kune mutungamiri weSouth Africa vawanikwa ivo vachinyora tsamba kuvanhu kati vatingati zvizvarwa zvavo zveimomo muSouth Africa vachiti vanhu vagarisane zvakanaka kuti pasave nebopoto ratiri kuona riri kuitika izvi pari zvino. Tichitarisa zvakare zviri kuitikawo mune dzimwe nyaya dzezvematongerwo enyika, taona mutungamiri wenyika yeZimbabwe vaEmmerson Mnangagwa vachitaura ivo kuti ivo semaonero avo hondo iri pakati peRussia neUkraine, vari kuti ivo mutungamiri weRussia vakawanikwa ivo vachidenwa zvakazoita kuti vatange hondo iyi muUkraine. Vakataura zvakare kuti ivo seZimbabwe vakawanikwa vachivhota kuUnited Nations Human Rights Commission uko kuti Russia isabviswe muboka iri, kunyange hazvo mavhoti avo akaita mashoma tikazoona Russia ichiburitswa mugungano iroro. Asi ndo zvimwe zviri kuitika zvatichange tiri kukurukura pamusoro pezvazvo, asi nyaya huru iri pano inyaya yemamiriro akaita zvinhu muSouth Africa umo tiri kuona zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe zvichishungurudzwa, uyezve tikaona pachirasikirwa neupenyu sekutaura kwataita. Pane vamwe zvakare vari pari zvino vatori munzira mekuti vada kuenda kumusha, asi vari kuti ivo dai vawana rubatsiro rwokuti vakwanise kudzokera kumusha sezvo pari zvino vasina mabasa. NdivaEmmanuel Zinja vanga vari kutaura.
Yes, marvelous kunjalo Sibili. Before we go to Mr. Emmanuel Zinja, I think we've got a person who has just joined us. Che, how are you? You can see that there's a man here by the name Che that has joined us. So Che, can you hear us? Or maybe he has got some challenges with his connection. So go back to him when he hears us. Che, are you there? Che, kunjani? So
Hello.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. So how are things?
Good. You know I'm Tsepo. It's showing that I'm Tsepo Londi.
Oh, okay. No, it's just Tsepo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, very good. So Tsepo is a South African. So you tell us a little bit about what is going on in his country, so that before we go to Mr. Zinja, so that it doesn't get cut off. So Tsepo, tell us what's going on really in South Africa. Why are South Africans attacking Zimbabweans?
Yeah, no, it's a very sad story, Mr. Dube. Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, I think I will always blame our leaders, because now I see a lot of leaders like from Zimbabwe, South Africa, and now they are raising their voice. Well, they were supposed to raise the voice long time ago. You see, maybe we should have avoided something like this, because if you raise your voice, well, there's an incident, then doesn't help. You see, because this is a very, very sad story, because now. And the painful thing is, like a lot of people from Zimbabwe, they will die because of the other people which is something they were supposed to address it long time, you see. Because now if they said someone did the crime, and then which means they will attack everyone, which is not good, you know. I think the leaders, something like this, maybe there was like a long time they were saying, like people, let's say someone is complaining about the Zimbabweans or whatever. So like the leaders, the broadcast or whatever that, because I saw some people like I think Matavela radio or something like this from Hillbrook. I think so the something that they have is something that they have to, you know, address some issues every day, you know, to say, you know, guys, our Zimbabweans or whatever, if you do something here in South Africa, you have to know that you mess up everything for the innocent people, you see, which is not good. Yeah, because now, like, the crime is, I think we can say the Zimbabweans, they do the crime, but also South Africans, they do the crime, you know. But the problem when it's backfire is backfire to the, you know, one side, which is not good, you know. Yeah, my side, I just want to ask the Zimbabwean that if it's true that whatever they're doing, they have to know that they are mess up the other people, the innocent people's life, which is not good. Because last time I saw they caught the other lady. I think she's a domestic worker. I think she was stealing something to transport to Zimbabwe. So which is not good, because now all the domestic workers from Zimbabwe, you know, their bosses, they are no longer trust them, which is not good because of one person. You see? Yes. They must know that whatever they are doing, you know, they mess up a lot innocent people's life, which is not good. You see? That's why I said the leaders is very important to every time speak to us, you know. Because if you are let's say you are a broadcaster, whatever, sometimes you can say, guys, we hear that you do a crime, or you hear that you do this. Please stop it, because this thing is affecting everyone. You see, because now Mr. Nyati, maybe you see, maybe he just died, maybe because of someone who did crime or whatever, even if there's no evidence, which is not good.
Yes, I think my colleague has got a question for you. Marvelous. Go ahead and pose a question to Mr. Tsepo Londi.
So,
South African.
As a South African yourself, what are you doing to also educate your community that they mustn't take the law into their own hands, whether it's a Zimbabwean or a South African who has committed a crime?
Yeah, you know, we try, but that's why I said the problem, our leaders, they failing. You know, they always failing, because they want to address the people if there's something bad, which is not good. Because to educate the people, we have to educate the people while there's nothing, you know. Because we try. Yes, because I have one of my friends is from actually it's my colleague. It's from Chipinge. Last time they hijacked his bag. And he told me that the guys that they hijacked me, they were speaking the Shona. Because them, they didn't realize that also is a Shona. You see? So which is not good, because now they will say Zimbabwean people, they hijack the cars, you know? And well, maybe they're working with the South Africans, you know, which is not good. That's why I say the important thing is to educate everyone that you have to know that everything that you do, you affect a lot of people, you see. Because remember, something that happened at Diesploot, even South African can lose their life. You see?
Definitely, yes.
Yes, it can. Yeah, because that's why I said no. I blame the leaders a lot, because remember, there was a heavy xenophobic, and I did like now I see that that's like the lot of the leaders, they're raising their voice, which they were supposed to raise before. You know, I see some people, they speak, I don't know, I think from Matavela and whatever. I think I see it's like someone, the headman or chief. So which now it's late for them. That's why I blame them. They were supposed to say something before. That we can find a solution, you know. And it's very important for them, because now I see they came to go to meet with the police and whatever. Something like this they should have done before, not now while we're crying. You see?
Yes, Tsepo. Hold on.
Yes.
Let me try to bring in a certain Zimbabwean wants to join the show. So, yamuzwa lapho ke Tsepo Londi yakhuluma ukuthi amaZimbabweans ayenza kudala khona ukuthi bezama ukuthi bekhulumisane lapha kwele South Africa ngodaba lolu ngoba uthi kukhanya ngazani kulobuzima obukhona njalo labantu ngani bahlulukela. So ke singakayi kwabaningi ukuthi siye khona ngale ke kule South Africa lapho ke uMarvelous axoxe khona lo munye umuntu. So Samuel Dube ube patient, siyabuya kuwe baba. Just be patient khona. So siyeza kuwe ungaqhumi vele ube khona. So Marvelous, I guess you talked to Emmanuel Zinja, and what happened?
I spoke to Emmanuel Zinja. He says he used to be a wood cutter, and his wife was also working at a farm collecting grapes and other fruits, like from the farms harvesting. So he says that there was actually like a meeting that was called for by South Africans, and they had actually gotten permission from the police to have a peaceful protest. But the protest turned very, very ugly, and he was attacked when he was coming from his home to go and meet other Zimbabweans, because Zimbabweans had said, since there's a protest, let's just meet and, talk about what's going on and, quietly try to see what we can do. So he said he was attacked by 30 to 40 ex-wielding, allegedly South Africans. And they were saying to him, they want all Zimbabweans to go back. And they were given 2 hours, he says, for Zimbabweans to go back. But he was lucky. But one of the wounds, actually, the axe nearly got to his brain. And he said for a while there, he lost his mind. But he has been able to get treatment and an operation. But now he says that all he wants to do is to go back to Zimbabwe. He says because now the job is finished and he's not well, and his wife is 6 months pregnant. She's not working either because she has been tending after him. He wants to go home and be reunited with his 3 children. But he says, once again, he has no financial clout to do that. So he's asking for financial assistance.
Yes. So what we can do is to try to play this audio that he sent us, Marvelous. So let's try to cue it in so that people can hear what this guy went through. Here he comes.
Ini ndinonzi Emmanuel Zinja. Dambudziko rakaitika nderekuti kwanga kuri ku Cape Town kunzvimbo inonzi Diesploot. South Africans aiprotesta. Saka vakatsvaga tsamba kumapurisa yekuti vaproteste. Vakanzi vanoprotesta in a polite manner. Asi hazvina kuzofamba sekudaro. Vakabva vatanga kuprotesta vachirova vanhu, vachibira vanhu, vachiti muri kutitorera mabasa. Tinokupai 2 hours dzekunge madzokera kunyika menyu. Imi hatidi kukuonai muno. Saka zvaita saizvozvo. Ini ndakabva ndabva pamba ndichienda kunoungana kwanga kune vamwe maZimbabwean. Ndakabva ndasangana neMaSouth Africans. Ndandine maproperties angu ekubasa nemasechewo nemajackets. Ini ndandichita basa rekuopareta chainsaw machine wekucheka plywood negrass cutter yekucheka huswa. Saka vakabva vandidzinganisa kudaro, kwainaya kwaitsvedza. Saka vakabva vatanga kundirwisa vanhu vavaisvika kuma30 or 40. Vanga vane matemo nemamachets. Saka vakatanga kundirova nedemo. Mumusoro ndakarohwa, nechekuziso ndakarohwa matemo 2. Then mumusoro kugotsi ndikarohwa rimwe demo. Rinova ndiro rakanga rakundikanganisa pfungwa, nekuti vakabva pandakaenda kuchipatara ndakanzi skawo yako payatemwa nedemo yasvika kubrain. Saka zvinoda kuti uinde kuTigerberg unooparetiwa uonekwe kuti demo rachona harina kunge rinozokonzera here tetanus pakukuvara kwawakaita. Ndadaro Zvinhu izvi ndakagara muchipatara for about 20 days ndiri kuchipatara ndichingopiwa mapiritsi ndichionekwa kusvika ndazooparetiwa nachiremba. Ndapedza kuoparetiwa kudaro ndakabva ndadischargiwa ndichibva ndaenda kwandire zvino kumuzukuru wangu ndakamirira kuti ndibvisiwe mastitch. Saka mastitch aya ndakamabvisiwa kuswera zuro. Vakandipa havo matablets ekunge ndichinwa panguva yekurara nemakuseni. Saka zvadaro ine hangu shuviro yangu ndanga ndaona sekuti basa izvino hapachisina, handichashandi, handichakwanisi kushanda simba rekushanda kwandanga ndichiti handichakwanisi. Mudzimai wangu haasi kushanda. Apa zvatanga tafunga ndezvekuti tanga takutsvaga rubatsiro rwekuti tiende kumusha, nekuti kumusha kwedu kumhondorongezi ndiko kwatakavakira ndo kune vana vedu. Saka tanga tangoti dai vanhu vatibatsira une rubatsiro rwekuti tiwane mari yebhasi yekuenda kumusha nemari yechikafu. Uyezve patakatiza kudaro vanhu vakabva vapindazve mudzimba mataigara, vakabhureka dzimba, vakatora midziyo yatanga takachengetedza yese vakaenda nemidziyo iya. Saka zvakamira kudaro ndandati ini bheta hangu nemudzimai wangu, sezvo mudzimai wangu akazvitakurazve ane pamuviri pane 6 months, apa kumusha tine vana 3. Saka shuviro yedu tanga tati dai tawana rubatsiro nemari yechikafu neyebhazi nekutiwo preparation, mudzimai wangu awane chekutenga preparation yaakanga ambotenga ikabiwa, toenda hedu kumbonozorora tiri kumusha tiwane kuzorora, timbozorodza pfungwa tichiona kuti maronda achona anosvika papi. Asi pari zvino hangu maronda emusoro ndiri kunzwa kuti zvave nani pane zvazvanga zviri sepakutanga. Ndo shuviro yangu iyoyo, ndo rubatsiro rwandiri kukwanisa kutsvaga kuvana veZimbabwe kuti dai vandibatsirawo kusvika pane zvakadaro. Kana pane vanokwanisawo kuve nerubatsiro, kana vachikwanisa kubatsira vanongosenda panhamba idzodzi, ndo pandinokwanisa kuti ndigotora zvandinenge ndabatsirwa nevana veZimbabwe.
There you are, marvelous. So the gentleman is in pain, and it's so sad that his wife is pregnant and they've lost their plates, they've lost everything, so it's a lot there, right?
It's a lot going on, and also when you look, they look very young. It's like a young couple that we're trying to, make ends meet by working in South Africa, because he says he came to South Africa in 2014 and then got his wife to also come. And, so now he's thinking it's better for them to go back to Zimbabwe, but we'll be giving out his number, I think, when we are near at the end of the program. So those that want to assist by sending him something can do that on that number, which is a South African number.
Yeah, so kulobuzima sibulokumangalisayo sesilobaba ke uSamuel Dube. Samuel Dube ukhula ngale kule South Africa. Sakwamukela kuhlelo ubaba Dube.
Siyabonga Dube, salibonani.
Yeah, kunjani mfowethu?
Siyaphila singakuza isizwe sikaMthwakazi.
Yeah, so siyabona sokuzalela ingweko le South Africa. Ukuhamba njani?
Hayi bantu bakithi esingakusho thina ukuthi isikhathi sifikile.
Yeah, kukhanya uyaqhumeka.
The time has come.
Yeah,
for
qhubeka. Yeah, qhubeka baba.
Awungizwa. Ngithi isikhathi sokuthi singabantu baseZimbabwe sizazi ukuthi singobani, sibuyele emuva siyovusa ilizwe labokhokho. Konke lokho kwenzakalayo kuhleliwe ngamaZulu. Zonke izinto ezenzakalayo
yeah, so uthi zonke izinto
izibonakaliso zikaNkulunkulu sokuthi sesibaleke kwenela.
Zihlelo mbani ba?
Zihlelo ngomdali baba, zihlelo ngomdali. Izenzo abakholwa ngokholo lesiKristu bathi bona are the signs of the end, and masikhuluma nge the end asikhulumi ngokuphela in the physical form, sikhuluma ngokuphela in the spiritual form, of which it might be the end of poverty, it might be the end of suffering from the people of Zimbabwe. But this will be only be understood by a few people of which kusamele sinomsebenzi omkhulu okumele siwenze singabachumayeli nabafundisi, of which again namasonto amaningi ase they are captured by the system that has been oppressing the black people, the people of color. So kuningi esazokubona ikakhulukazi ngabantu baseZimbabwe kunesizathu sokuthi yindaba bebheke kakhulu abantu baseZimbabwe, kukhona abakwazi okukhulu ngaleliya lizwe thina unfortunately singabantu esingakwazi.
So now you're talking about the spiritual aspect. What about the practical aspects on the ground? What's really happening? Why are South Africans saying, now you guys, you have to go? As far as you are concerned, what should you say?
Before we go to the physical and the literal environment, everything starts. This is just a manifestation of amandla. Masikhuluma ngamandla ase-Africa okhokho ababe nawo ukuthi they were one with God. This is just a manifestation of what has been divinely planned. Okay, this will manifest as umoya wa violence ebantwini beMzansi Africa. Abanye bakhona bengakwazi nokuthi bakwenzelani kodwa bephezu kokuthi bafuna amaZimbabwe ahambe. Umoya ukuthi ama-leaders wonke amasonto aseZimbabwe nase-Africa jikelele kumele ngabe bakhuluma ngawo, but unfortunately abantu bakithi they've been captured and brainwashed. Umoya weqiniso awusekho ebantwini bakithi. Most of our prophets are captured. So into eziqale elizweni lomoya is just a manifestation ukuthi it has to manifest as violence against the people of Zimbabwe.
But practically South Africans are saying some Zimbabweans are criminals, some Zimbabweans have stolen their jobs. Let's hit on that. Konokoke, what can you say about it?
Ubugebengu abula nationality. Ubugebengu, criminality has no nationality. That's a fact. Criminality is there in everywhere in the world. Liqiniso elimsula lokuthi bakhona abantu abadabukela izweni leZimbabwe abayenza ubugebengu leSouth Africa kodwa ubugebengu lobo bubuya phi indaba umuntu azakhethe isigebengu sokuthi athwale umbhobho. There's a big issue behind all this that has turned normal people into criminals. People are not born criminals, but situations they are resulted in people becoming criminals.
Yes, terrifying ngesindebele khona uzwa ngomarvelous. Ufana ngesindebele sibile ukuthi kwanyazani kula khona ukuthi abantu beZimbabwe
ngithi njengoba siza okunye okubuhlungu.
Yeah. Kubeka ba.
Yeah, sorry ngathi
kubeka sibili.
Engikushoyo yikho lokho ukuthi masingakhangela nalolu daba olukhuluma kulo mfowethu ivoice note besilaleli usesimeni esibuhlungu and akusunguye yedwa obhekane nalokho. Baningi abantu ababhekana nezimo ezinjalo okuyikuthi abantu masingabe lokho silwisana nakho lokho kuzoshiya silimele, abanye bazodlula emhlabeni ngendawo zokuthi akumelanga thina silwe lakho, kumele silalele ukuthi ubugebengu bukhona. Ubugebengu abula ukuthi umuntu uvela ngakuphi kwelizwe. And izigebengu esiziningi esizibonayo izigebengu lezi ezidalwe isimo somumo esiubalekele emazweni abekakhulukazi la esibayiza ama-economic migrants. Abantu laba bafika lama bagcibe sebe-resorta into anything just to provide ukubeka ukudla etafuleni ngoba basuke bekwazi ukuthi lapha ababuya khona emakhaya banabogogo, banabomkhulu, banabobabakazi, baney'ngane, banemizi okumele bababhekele. Ingakho umuntu usuka sengasakwazi ukuthi ayenzeni, of which we are not saying ukuthi we are justifying a crime, but we are just trying to explain ukuthi umuntu ma eselizweni la ngaphandle they have to do whatever they have to do ngoba kumele bafite ingane.
Yes, Marvelous, do you have a question for Mr. Samuel Dube? Mr. Dube is also a preacher, Quiet, yeah.
Yes, you were mentioning something that this is now the sign of the times. So in the churches, how are you talking to those that come to your church when it comes to what we're seeing happening in South Africa?
Okay, first of all, when we are talking about the African mind, we are talking about a mind that has been brainwashed for a very long time. Everything was turned upside down so that it confuses the African mind. So what I'm talking about now is what we still regard as esoteric. It's such an information that can only be understood by a few people because our people have been brainwashed for a very long time through izinto ezifana nokudla esikudla everyday, amanzi esiwaphuza aphuma ezimpompini zethu. So only a few people get to understand it, and there is a sizable community that is now growing. We are seeing a higher level of consciousness that is now spreading among the people of color and the black people. So we are seeing a number of people who, when we tell them about these things, they get to to see ukuthi this is it, because uma ukhuluma nomuntu okwazi uku-interpreta their own dreams, they get to understand, okay, the other day I had such a dream, and then which means those people are only the few chosen ones who have to understand the information and still transfer and try to break it down to the brainwashed mind of the African person.
Yes, okay, manje kulungiswa njani konke lokho Dube?
Ngokumoya Dube, everything starts within the spirit, and then inkinga abantu yikho ngithi i-colonization of Africa was a very, very dangerous tool. It was not just brutal ukuthi abantu babebulawa, bloodshed. No, it was spiritual, it was economic, especially the spiritual part yiyo ebuhlungu ngoba umuntu wamhlukanisa nokuzazi ukuthi ungubani, sumsathathele inotho yakhe. Umuntu omnyama obethi mayezwala elizweni le-Afrika, okhokho bebekwazi ukuthi mawuzwale ngalesikhathi somnyaka wena ithalenta lakho yileli. Ingakho abantu bebengayi esikole kodwa bebephila babe izigqili, babe izigwili, babe nenotho ngoba umntwana induna ibekwe ematholeni sasencane, umntwana besimazi ukuthi mayezalwa namhlanje uzoba yini. Manje sesigidimisa imali, asafuni nokulandela amathalenta ethu. Ma umntwana ekhule egumeni ngathi uchaye igatari ubaba sesithi hayi wona uzohlala ngoba the music industry is associated with the drug abuse and all the bad things of this world, of which the African person is the creator of all these things. But because colonization made sure ukuthi the African person is degraded, angabe esazazi ukuthi who is he. Yikho kumele sikulungise khona khona. Ingakho ngihlala ngithi mina, Zimbabwe won't be fixed by the ballot box. We need to know ourselves. We need to revive the first nation which is within us.
Yes, siyakuzwa kakhulu ke Mr. Tsepo Londi. I think you are listening to him. So basically, when he looks at some of these things, he takes them biblically, you know, but you're looking at them in a different way. Like, you know, there's a situation in Zimbabwe where people have trooped to South Africa to look for jobs. And South Africans are saying, no, the problem is they are taking those jobs that are basic, you know, so they no longer have jobs. South Africans don't have jobs anymore. So at the end of the day, how do we resolve this kind of conflict?
Yeah, actually, Mr. Dube, this thing is a big problem. That's why I said this thing, our leaders are the one who failing too much. And also, you know what I realize, a lot of people from Zimbabwe, some of them, they make friends with the wrong people here in South Africa. And the wrong people, they turn you in a, like, they'll turn you in a crime, you see, which is not good. Because some of the people from Zimbabwe, a lot of things they just, you know, they teach them here. They give them the wrong advice. And some of them, they use them, you see. Because now if you came to South Africa and you meet someone, okay, this guy said I'm a gangster, and you still follow him, then he's going to give you the wrong advice. That no, if you can go rob there, and then we'll come back with the money. And you know the money is a Satan. Once you hold the money, no turning back. You see? Even some of the ladies, maybe they advise them wrong that, you know what, you can steal the stuff from your boss and send it home and run away, which is not good. Those things, you even if you steal 1 million, you can't eat that money for the rest of your life, you know, because our brothers and sisters, they mustn't allow poverty to turn them in a crime. You see, they must try to fight that. They must try something. Don't allow a poverty to turn you in a crime. Because if you can check the scene at Diesploot, actually from that, it was not undocumented. The protesting, it was about the crime, but it ended up turning in a wrong way. You see?
Yes, yes. So then comes the issue of saying, okay, how do we resolve it? This is the conflict. How do we handle this?
Yeah, that's why, Mena, I said the way like our leaders, they interfering. I think it's very important. You know, because I don't see if it's a problem if the president of Zimbabwe can come to South Africa, and even those the headmen or the chiefs, and meet with the leaders of South Africa. Because now the president he said, no, you mustn't kill your brothers. You know, so this thing you need, like, they have to meet a serious meeting. You see, then they must come with a serious solution. because this thing of the sending the videos and whatever is not going to help us. The important thing is a meeting, you know.
Mhm.
Yes, the
And
meeting of
who has to initiate that meeting? Who has to come in and say, you know what, let's hold a meeting about this situation and try to do this or that, you know, because I still remember that South Africans went to Zimbabwe in an attempt to cool tempers between the ruling party and the opposition. At the end of the day, they came out with nothing. You still remember that even Thabo Mbeki said
yes,
there was
yes.
no issue concerning Zimbabwe and all those kind of things. So it's really something that is maybe difficult to resolve. But give us your opinion, please. Go ahead.
No, now I feel like I the way I see the lot of leaders they interfering, I have a little bit of hope that something can come out, you know,
Mhm.
because you know the chief and the headmen, those are very important people. They are the one that are leading us and are the one who have to educate us, you know. Those people are the one who have to come and meet with our leaders. You see, maybe something will come out. But if they say something on a video, then doesn't help, you see. Because this situation, you see, it's happening, it stopped for 2 years, it's happening again, you see, which is not good. And if you, to be honest, if you can check here South Africa, we are, there's a lot of, you know, it's like it's 9 provinces, you see. So if you can check some of the province, there's a lot of Zimbabweans, but something like this is not happening. You see,
Mhm.
look for my side, me, I'm from Limpopo. So Limpopo is very rare to see something like this. You see, like
Why?
Northern Cape is very rare to see something like. That's why you can see that there's a people who against the foreigners. You see,
Mhm.
yeah, it's not like everyone here in South Africa. You know, there's a few people who against the foreigners, and which, as the guy said, because according to South African person, when we're talking about the foreigner, you're talking about someone who's from Zimbabwe.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
you are
if we
marvelous. I
can
think
check,
you can.
yeah,
I think
if we
you can make
no,
a point.
remember last time when I spoke to you, I think it's last year, or
Yes.
I forget. Yeah, I
Yes.
told you that according to South African person, a foreigner is someone who came from Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
So what about
Yes.
other foreigners? Even you have a lot of people from China, from the UK, from Nigeria. Why is the foreigner in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, that's why it's what I'm trying to say, that you can see that there's a problem, you know. Yeah, we don't want to go deeper. We know where this problem came from, and even our leaders, they know the culture that they like to start this thing. You know, I think even the Zimbabweans who live here in South Africa, they know. You know, they know very well, and it's only one province that caused this problem.
Which
It's
province is
only
that?
one.
Maybe people want to
No,
know.
no, that's why I said no. We don't want to go deeper, but it's the
Mhm.
only one people who came from one province who causing this problem, which is not good. You see?
Ah.
Yeah. So that's why I said our leaders, you know, they failing a lot. They failing a lot. That's why I said now I feel like there's a little bit of hope, because I see a lot of the leaders they interfering, which they have to interfere with the power. You know, to solve a problem, you have to interfere with the power. But if you are very far and you just say it's very sad, no, the voice that says very sad is not going to help us, because it happened, and we don't want to that thing happened again. Because what if now the Zimbabweans also they turn? You know?
Yeah. Konoko mbona uzani
Yes.
mwatupa. Ngicela ukuthi ufake isindebele just briefly. Konoko ukuthi kambe
Okay.
kwahambisa njani.
Oh yeah, ngithi manje, like, what if also Zimbabweans, and then they said we fight back? Everyone is going to kill his brother. Because you can't, when you meet someone at night, you can't say, are you a Shona or whatever. You end up killing your sister or your brother. Because this thing, to be honest, at the end of the day, mark my words, is going to be very, very bad. At the one of the good day is going to be a serious war, and a lot of people, they're going to lose their life. Remember, I told you that my friend lost the life the time there was the first attack.
Yes.
Yes, you know, and it was from Limpopo. He lost the life, and this thing, if they don't find a solution, I'm telling you, it's going to be very bad. Because I can hear that those people, they're going to turn back, and very soon, and it's not going to be nice. Now, you know, angeke sakwazi ukuthi sizokhuluma ngani, because kuzoba kuthiwa abantu abasoba South Africa bashonile, abantu basoba Zimbabwe, whatever. Yabona? Because mina I hear, because everyone umuntu uyakhathala. Yabona? Umuntu uyakhathala, even the time esiya esikolweni, mawubuya esikolweni umuntu akushaya endleleni, at the end of the day you fight. You see? Yeah, you fight. Yeah, you fight. So this thing, that's why I said, umziligazi or whatever. I think I saw one of them. I'm not sure if he's a chief. I think that guy, according to me, if he can be, his voice can raise again more and more, you know. And I saw some people, they visited the Diesploot police station to meet the station commander or whatever. You know, this thing they must push that both leaders have a serious meeting. Because Manje Pelalentole is a problem. You remember the people are not in Diesploot everywhere. And everyone now is scared. Manje siyosebenza kanjani, because omunye sisungijele ukuthi umlongo wakhe uthene angasaphuma ngapha estate. If yafuna ukuya eshop then uzomhambisa abuye naye, which I correct.
That is really bad. It looks like apartheid. So at the end of the day, it's really complicated. Let's bring in Mr. Samuel Bamba Konapo. Let's bring in Mr. Samuel Dube. Let's go ahead with Mr. Dube there.
Maybe if you could play the audio also of the wife of Mr. Zinja, so that we can just hear, you know, what women are also going through as their husbands are attacked. And we saw there the wife of the late Elvis Nyati also, you know, talking about how it went down when her husband was burnt to death.
Yes, so let me play that audio. Just hold on 1 second. So, here she comes.
Ndinowa ndiri mudzimai waEmmanuel Zinja. Chakaitika ndechekuti vanhu kwataigara kuBreedersdorp, vanhu vecommunity vakaronga musangano wavo vachiti maZimbabweans vari kutorera mabasa, vari kutengesa mashabhini, vari kuita zvese muno munzvimbo medu. Saka toda kuti vadii vaende. Ndobva vambotanga kumacha vasina kukumbira mvumo kumapurisa. Ndobva vazoenda kumapurisa, vambomiswa nemapurisa, ndobva vakaenda vakanokumbira dheti, vakapiwa dheti remusi wa24 April. Asi vaiti tichazviita in peaceful way. Saka ininiwo musi wa23 ndakabva ndati rega ndiende semunhu akazvitakura ndiri pamiri pane 6 months. Ndakabva ndati rega ndiende kuStrand kunova kwaive nemuzai wangu, ndichiti kana vanhu ava vakatanga noizvi zvekumhanya ndese handizogoni. Saka ndakangotakurawo kahandbag kaingova nezvimapushi nehembe 2 dzekushinja, ndobva ndauya kuno. Saka ndiri kuno kudaro protest iya yatanga, tine magrupu atakajoiniswa nevanhu vecommunity. Magrupu vandaingogara ndichifollowa ndichingonzozvaitika. Saka murume wangu ndaimubata ndichitaura naye, but dzakuma4 zuva rodoka foni yake yakatadza kudi kuita. Pasina chinguva vanhu vandaona mugrupu recommunity rataurwa kuti anonzi Baba Vhale kana kuti Emmanuel Zinja atemwa kutipinuka ngosi vakararama. Hino kuti kana mupenyere apa inini handisiri panzvimbo ndanga ndiri kure, ndakatanga kushaya kuziva kuti saka ndodii. ndopandakatanga kutsvaga manambers evanhu, ndopandakafonera landlord wedu wataigara naye mbati yasvika pano ndazofonera ambulance. Ndafonera ambulance yazouya after 1 hour. Saka atakurwa aenda kuhospital. Saka vakasvika ikoko kuBridge's Hospital mbva vasoniwa vagara kuda mbva vatiwa masikani mbva vaonekwa kuti hwani rimwe demo racho ranga rakadzika mbva vaiswa kutaiga bag. Saka ndakazonovaona kubva kustrand ndichienda kutaiga bag. Apa ndakasvika pacho vaitotaridza kusatomboziva kuti chii chaiitika. Vagara ikoko. Dhokita akazoti vadaitwa operation nokuti hwani racho rakatema nechekumasaidi uko rakanga ranoafekta kubrain, ndobva vaitwa operation yachoni. Saka inini shuvira yangu hangu nepfungwa dzangu ndachingokumbirawo kana kuti rubatsiro rwandingadawo kumunhu ndekuti inini hangu ndafunga kuenda kumba nditogara kumusha hedu kuZimbabwe tichiona kuti zvii zvinoteera tiriko. Ndo hangu shuvira yangu yandanayo. Plus ndangoudzawo vamwe kuti shuwa zvinhu izvi vanhu ava havachatide munyika mavo. Kana munhu une zvinhu zvakakosha kuendesa kumba kuri right, nekuti tiri kuno vakange vakupaza dzimba. Takangozowana imba musisina kana chinhu. Ndangosarawo nembiri idzodzo dzandanga ndabuda nazvo. Hapana chandakazombowana mumba imomo. Ndakangowana mava ground.
Loke unkosikazi akutsho Marvelous uthini lapho mama?
That was the wife of Emmanuel Zinja. She's talking about the incident that happened. I think she made a mistake on the date. It was March 24th. But she said April 24th. And then I said to her, but you're talking about, and she said, we are so confused. But anyway, this happened last month. And she says that she left her place where they were staying to go and to her relative who's close by, because she wanted to go to the clinic and also to get checked because she's 6 months pregnant. But she was following events that were happening. And then she saw on the WhatsApp group that, her husband had been attacked while, she left him where they were staying in Western Cape. And she said, then she went to the hospital from where she was, and he couldn't even recognize her. He was out of sorts because he'd been attacked by an ex, and one of the ex, she says, the doctor told them, nearly, touched his brain, but luckily enough, they were able to operate and make sure that there was no tetanus, and now he's recovering. But all she wants is to go home, because she says to those that are listening and in areas that are volatile, they need to start sending their property home, because when they returned to where they lived, there was nothing. The home there was nothing, that everything that they left there had been looted. She had even had preparation for the baby that she's expecting. There was nothing. So now they're starting from ground zero, and they don't have even anything to enable them to be able to go back home. So that's why they are now appealing to the community to say, we would like to go back home. We cannot take it anymore. They're fearing for their lives. And also she says, as a husband recovers, things are very tough at the moment for the family.
Kukhanya kulohlupho kakhulu. Ngena khonapho baba Dube usitshela ukuthi wena ukuzwa njani khonokho nxa kulalele kuhle.
Yebo siyabonga Dube. Hayi kubi impela abantu babhekane lobunzima.
So manje kuthiwe nxa kunje kumele kwenziwe.
Engizokutsho mina ukuthi undoda loya oselimpopo ukukhuluma naye umbuze wathi kwenziwe njani. Wathi we are expecting our leaders to do things. Into enzoyisho ukuthi this time it's in our hands. It's in the young generation's hands, because these political leaders, most of them, they stand to benefit from issue yama illegal foreign nationals in these countries, and they have signed gentlemen's agreements with the other political parties, specifically for the ANC and the ZANU-PF. We know the big heads who are in South Africa here, who have mineral companies in Zimbabwe. Some are in the bus transportation industry. They benefit from this situation. If you talk about traveling to Zimbabwe right now, you have a document, you don't have a document, you can go to Zimbabwe. There are people who are controlling that industry, and they are benefiting from that. So it is in our hands as the young people to say enough is enough. If you look at the people who are complaining right now, these people who are abakhuluma ngenkinga ababhekane lazo, those are the young people. Those are the voices of the young people who are the builders of the future nation that we want to build, the nation of a united African people, with the people who have what we call Ubuntu, who do not have hatred on each other, who do not call each other foreigners in Africa. We have a long way to go as people, and we have a lot of work to do in conscientizing the black mind that was brainwashed.
Yes, kukhuluma ngesindebele sibili ukuthi kumele kube njani.
Yebo, engikushoyo yikho ukuthi zonke lezi zinto esikhangelane lazo zimele zilungiswe ngabasha abasha, njengoba singakhangela sibona ukuthi labantu abayibo abahlukunyezwe yilezi ehlakalo masibeza bekhuluma lana kuma voice note ngabantu abasha abasakhulayo. Engikushoyo ukuthi lesi sikhathi esikuso khathesi ngesokuthi thina singabantu abasha uthathe lokhu sikubeke ezandleni zethu, sithi isikhathi sethu sokuthi silivuse izwekazi labokhokho. Abantu abadala labo abasezikhundleni zezombusazwe bayadla lapha bakhona, basayina ama-gentlemen's agreements, bayadla, akubahluphi ngalutho ngoba izikhwama zabo zigcwele, bakhala izikhwama zabo zigcwele. Thina we have to do this, sizenzele thina nabantwana bethu abezayo. Yikho ngithi singabantu abasha, ngithi isikhathi sifike sokuthi silivuse ilizwe laseZimbabwe, silivuse izwekazi lase-Afrika, kodwa kumele sikwenze lokhu sibambene, sikhuluma ngevoice inye. Ingakho singeke sithole kunabodudula nani, kumele sikwazi ukuthi sidudula wuphi umoya, sidudula bani. Mawuthiwa kuyadudula Africa, ngubani omela dudule? Singadudulani thina sodwa, ngoba ukududulana kwethu thina sodwa lokhu yikho vele abakufuna, yikho abakudraftayo ngesikhathi bengena bezocolonize abokhokho. So obaba bethu basase traumatized, abanye babo basabesaba kakhulu abantu abasicolonizayo, ingakho bengathi abafuni ukuyizwa kahle le ndaba le.
Siyawuzwa kakhulu ke. Maybe Marvelous, you can go to Tsepo Londi.
Maybe just to wrap up, so what's the way forward from what you are seeing on the ground?
Mr. Samuel. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, mina into engizogcina ngayo abantu bakithi ibengicela ukuthi whatever laba abantu laba bakwazi ukuthi benze crime, lento le ifanele stop. Yebo, because yabona manje kutshontsha imoto zicrossa kuma river eBed Bridge, and imoto lezi asiyazi sithathwa abantu baZimbabwe or abantu baSouth Africa basithatha bazinikeza abantu baZimbabwe, and lento le may backfire, but no, abantu baZimbabwe benza so. Yebo, which I correct, that's why ngithi affect ama innocent people. So bona labo ungathi bona bakwazi ukuthi benze crime, lento le ifanele stop, because if iyaqhubeka at the end of the day kwenzeka isimo siba nje, yabona, and which asikho right. That's why ngithi ama leaders also yona lento ukuthi imoto ziyathola eBed Bridge kuma river bathulile ngayo, abakhulumi ngayo, yabona. And which into le uthola ukuthi abantu manje bagcina baye angry ngayo, yabona baba Dube. Abantu abenza crime sibesicela ukuthi bastop, bangavumeli ukuthi ipoverty ibaturn into crime, because otherwise angeke sithole isolution, yabona, because it is very painful lento le yenzekayo, because abanye basibuyela emsebenzini yabo ba attack because of someone, or because imoto mayitshontshile bayibona lapha bayifaka all over the social media ukuthi 5 Hilux recovered in a Limpopo river, it was crosser to Zimbabwe. Some of them you see them, they pull badonza ngamadongi nini babathola bayabaleka and babalekela Zimbabwe side. So lento leya bafanele bayistop. Nabo laba bathi ama house breaking or everything lokho kwenza lento le bafanele bayistop, because asizo face a situation because of one person or 5 people. Yabona lapha iLimpopo, that guy from Zimbabwe who he killed like 7 women. So manje umuntu ewane ufanele azo disturb everyone. I correct lento lo. ayikho right at all.
Yeah, siyakuzwa
Yeah,
kakhulu
ayikho
Tsepo.
right at all. Yeah,
ukuthi isikhathi
yeah.
sesiziwe mangoye. Siyabonga kakhulu ungathini kusasa. So marvelous, we're talking to Mr. Tsepo Londi. He's a South African. He normally participates in some of our programs, and we really appreciate his time today. He spent a lot of time with us so that we can discuss some of these issues. We also wish to thank Mr. Samuel Dube, who is a Zimbabwean living in South Africa, and Tuso Kumalo, our correspondent, for providing some of the videos that we had today. And signing off from Maryland, this is Kip Dube saying good night, Zimbabwe.
And I'm Marvelous Mhlanganya and would also like to say those that want to assist Mr. Emmanuel Zinja, his number is +27 6421 73467. That's in South Africa.
Good night.